Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning, sir.
Okay, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, today I will be presenting to you about a case study that title of Problem in Hospital, which is in the course of Basic Algebra for the code MTES 1074. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Before we dive into the main topic, let's start with a quick introduction to algebra. Let's take a moment to understand what algebra really is and why it is important. Okay, algebra is one of the fundamental branch of mathematics that help us to represent a real life problem using symbol, variable, and even equation. It allows us to describe relationship and make some prediction. For example, in hospital, factories, or even in finance. In algebra, instead of working only with numbers, we use letters like X and Y to represent an unknown values. So we also use other letters such as Z, but according to the equation that we get. So by forming the equation or inequalities, we can find the best possible solution that satisfy a certain condition. In this presentation, we will see how algebra can, especially linear inequalities and linear programming, can help a hospital allocate its limited resource efficiently while still maximizing its net profit and also follows the policy rule. So in the short, algebra isn't just a numbers, but it is also a powerful tool for problem solving and decision making in the real world. First of all, let's define these two main variables. Okay. First, let X represent the mild cases, while the Y will be representing the numbers of critical cases. So here we will have two variables. These two variables will be going to use in our equation and throughout our model. Okay, next slide. The hospital has a limited resource, so we be using the linear inequalities to show the resource usage. Okay, for the first equation, we be using the bet which is x plus y is less than or equals to 200. However, the medicine constraint is 3x plus 5y is less than or equals to 800. So it cannot be higher than 800. However, for the last equation is Dr. Hours. So for the doctor, we get x plus 8y is less than or equals to 500. So the doctor cannot work higher than 500 hours per month. Okay, so here we can see that they are this equation can restrict the total of the numbers for the resource usage. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, next we have a policy constraint. This shows the rules of the hospital and the subsidy that it gets. So here we have two equations that we get. So for the first equation is critical patient must be at least 10% of all patients. So the equation that we get is y is greater than or equals to 0.1 in bracket x plus y. So for the second equation that we get is the mild patient cannot exceed 15% of all patients. So the equation that will be used is x is less than or equals to 0.5 in bracket x plus y. So here it has only two policy that we need to understand. Okay, let's go to the next. For the last formula that we'll be using is we'll be using the linear programming to search for the objective function. Okay, so here we want to search for the maximized net profit for the hospital that it gets. So to search for it, we will be using the formula which is this formula. Net profit per patient equals to the subsidy it gets minus with the treatment cost. So the first one, the treatment cost per patient that they need to pay is for the mild cases is 1,000 ringgit. However, for the critical is much higher than the mild. Okay, it is 5,000 ringgit. So the government subsidy, which is the hospital income that they get for the mild cases, is here that we can see is 2,000 ringgit. However, for the critical cases that they get is 8,000 ringgit. So here we can see that the critical is much higher than the mild. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, so for the result is for the mild cases, we will using the formula that we have from the previous slide. So we just substitute it. So 2,000 minus by 1,000, we will get the mild cases that the profit is 1,000 ringgit. So for the critical cases, so the subsidy is 8,000 minus with the treatment cost, which is 5,000. The net profit that we get for the critical patient is 3,000 ringgit. So the objective function that we get is max z equals to 1,000x plus 3,000y. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. To solve this problem, we will be finding the feasible region. What is a feasible region? Okay, feasible region is the area that's constrained or that satisfy all the constraints. So, what does it mean? It means that we need to find the intersection of all the equation. Okay, here that you can see, I had listed all the equation that we get from the previous slide, but the objective is not here. Okay, because we will be using the objective function in the end to search or to find the maximized net profit of the hospital. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, for the first solution, we will find the intersection of the equation 1 and 2. So the first equation is x plus y equals to 200, and the second is 3x plus 5y equals to 800. So from the number 1, we can move the y right to the right, so it will be minus y. So x is equal to 200 minus y. It will be the third equation. So substitute x equals to 200 and minus y in the second equation. So the result that we get is y equals to 100. Next, so when we get y equals to 100, we will need to find the x. So substitute y equals to 100 in the first equation. So x minus 100 is equal to 200. So the result that we get is x equal to 100. So for the point A is 100 and y is also 100. Okay, next. Okay, for the second solution, we will find the intersection of the first equation and the third equation. So for the first equation is x plus y equals to 200, and the second equation is x plus 8y equals to 500. So from the first equation, we can move the y to the right, so it will get the new equation, which is x equals to 200 minus by y. So it will be the third equation. So substitute x equals to 200 minus y in the second equation. So the result and the answer that we get is y equals to 42.86. Okay, next. When we get the y equals to 42.86, we will substitute it in the first equation, and the answer that we get is 157.14. So the answer that we get for the point B, which is the second intersection, is x equals to 107. What x equals to 157.14. However, y is 42.86. Okay, let's move to the third solution. Okay, for the third solution, we will find the intersection of the second equation and the third equation. So for the first equation, we will be using 3x plus 5y equals to 800, which is the second, and then the number 2, we will be using the third, which is x plus 8y equals to 500. So from 2, which is this one, we can move 8y to the right. So we will get a new equation, which is x equals to 500 minus by 8y. It will be the third equation for this. So substitute x equals to 500 minus by 8y in the first equation. So the answer that we get for the y is y equals to 36.84. Okay, next. So when we get the answer for y, we will need to find for the x. So substitute y equals to 36.84 in the equation, in the third equation. So the result that we get is x equals to 204.163. So the third point that we get is For the x is 204.63. However, for the y is 36.84. Okay, after we solve all the equation, we will check whether the point that we get satisfies all the policy constraint. Okay, for the first point, which is A, does x is less than or equals to y? Yes. Okay, for the second, does x less than or equals to 9y? Yes. So, does it valid? Yes, it is valid because it satisfies both of constraint. How about the second? Okay, does x is less than or equals to y? No, because x is higher than y. However, does x is less than or equals to y 9y? Yes, because when we calculate it, it will get higher than this one. But does it valid? No, because it just satisfies one policy. For the point C, the last point is does x is less than y? Yes, but does x is less than or equals to y 9y? No. When we calculate it, we will not get it. So does it valid? The answer is not valid. So here we can see that clearly that only point A, which is x is 100 and y is 102, that satisfy both policy constraint. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. So we can compute the profit at a feasible point. So we will calculate it using the objective programming. So after we know the point that satisfy all the policy, so we can get the maximized profit from it. So we will be using the formula from the objective function that we get from the previous slide, which is z equals to 1000x plus 3000y. So we substitute s equal to 100 and y equal to 100. The maximum profit that we get is 400,000 ringgit. Okay. So when we get the profit, the maximized profit, we will check whether it is satisfied all the policy and the results constraint. Okay. When they treat 100 mild and 100 critical patient, they will be using 200 bed, and for the medicine way, they will be using 800 units. However, for the doctor hours, they will get for 900 hours. Okay, to see it clearly, we will go to the next slide. Okay, after we get the doctor hours, we can see that the doctor hours is exceeded from 500. This is because 900 is much higher than 500. So it is not satisfied this constraint. So it violate. So point A satisfy all except for the doctor hours. So we will need to find another feasible intersection that satisfy all the constraints, include the policy and the doctor hours. So next slide. How? Okay, let me show you. Okay, next. Okay, we will apply the doctor constraint, which is x plus 8y is less than or equals to 500 with others that specify policies. We will try it with x equals to y. So substitute it into doctor constraint. So we substitute x in y, so we will get x plus s 8x less than or equals to 500, we will get the answer is x is less than or equals to 55.56. Okay, next. So for the back constraint, we will substitute it also. So x plus x is less than or equals to 200. We will get the answer x is less than or equals to 100. And the last one is the medicine. We will substitute it also. So we will get x is less than or equals to 100. So the final optimal solution that we get is x is less than or equals to 55.56. So the titles is x. So x is equal to y, which is 55.56 is feasible. So the maximum profit that we get is 1000 in the bracket 55.56 plus with 300 in bracket 55.56, we will get the maximum profit that feasible, that satisfy all the constraint and all the policy is 2000 is 222,214 ringgit. Okay. Okay, how about the graph? Let's see the graph. This is the graph that I get. So you guys can see the optimal is here. This is the point that we get. Okay. Okay, before we wrap this up, I want to invite one of my students to tell us what does we learn today.
Hi, my name is Nur Hakimin Aiman bin Khairul Fitri. I am one of Sir Adam's students. After listening to the presentation that Sir Adam has given, I have learned a lot about how algebra can be applied in real-life situations, especially in managing hospital resources. The presentation showed that algebra isn't just about solving numbers or equations. It's actually a tool that helps us make smart and practical decisions. I found it interesting how the problem used variable, constraints, and objective function to represent a real hospital scenario. By using linear inequalities and linear programming, we can see how hospital decide to the best number of patients to treat while still considering limits like medicines, beds, and doctor availability. Overall, the presentation helped me understand that algebra is not only important in mathematics, but also very useful in everyday life. It taught me that with logical thinking and proper calculation, we can solve complex problems and make better decisions in the real world. Thank you for the informative and inspiring presentation.
Okay, thank you, Hakimi. That is very good. I think you understand what I have been teaching you in the front. Okay, let's wrap this up. This project reminds us that algebra is not just about solving equations, but it is also about solving real life problems. We can see by the demonstration how linear programming and algebraic modeling can be powerful tools in optimizing hospital operations, just like what I have been presenting from the slide. Okay, by applying the mathematical thinking, hospital can make smarter choice, use their resource more efficiently, and provide better care for all the patients. This has shown that mathematics has a real purpose to make the world more organized, fair, and even effective. So, for the next time we study algebra, let's remember that every formula that we learn could one day help us to improve someone else's life. So, I hope you all understand what I have been saying. Okay. Okay, that's all for me. I hope you all understand what I have been teaching to you. Okay? Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.